Hello everyone, welcome in. Welcome. Alright, let's see where I'm at. Find myself. Hello, hello. When you guys pop on, just say hi. That way I know that you are here. Let me know that you have joined in. Thank you. I appreciate you, dear. So, welcome to Dusty Granny's event group. It is my portion for today. We are in our Tuesday Crafters Extravaganza, and it is Crafter's Choice. So hopefully we all bring something. Well, I know we will all bring something different, but hopefully you guys will be able to hang around. Hi there, Miss Connie. How are you, my sweet friend? All right. So let me get myself shared out and propped up here so I can see what I'm doing. And hopefully catch the bulk of y'all's comments, because y'all know sometimes what we see on one place is very different from what we see in another place. So definitely trying to make sure I catch it all, or at least to the best of my abilities, right? Okay, so there we go. Volume down because y'all do not want to hear me. Hey there, Miss Amy. We've got a really nice lineup today, guys. So up after me is going to be Miss Renee from I always get her name, Rustic Daises DIY. That's it, Rustic Daises DIY. She is up after me, so I am excited. We have several wonderful crafters today, so make sure that you're sticking around to watch everybody, okay? Alright, let me get you guys turned down to my desk and get you guys somewhat situated a little bit better, hopefully. And I hope you guys like what the idea that I have for today, okay? And I wanted some pink. Let me get some pink. So we are going to be creating a little diorama. At least that is my hope. And I hope it comes out good, because like I have this idea in my head and y'all know how that can go, right? It can go really well or not so well. So I got this little guy at what's this called again? Michael's. I got him from Michael's. And with the little flowers and everything, I was like, ooh, flower power. So we got some hippie little ghosties. See that? And there is a light on the inside, so we'll be working with that. I'm not going to pull the little tab out just yet because we're going to first paint it up and then work on the inside. While I was also looking, they also had these right here, and I thought those would be perfect for our groovy little ghosties. So let's get rolling. Let's get to painting and enjoying all of the things. So how is everybody's Tuesday going? I hope you guys are having a really good day so far. I hope so. Alright, now I'm thinking that I actually want to do this in actual wood, like staining it, is what I'm thinking I want to do with it. And so you guys can tell I've kind of been tidying up my little area here, so might be a little bit less cluttered. That also means I've been moving stuff around and now I don't remember where I put half of my stuff because it's not right here where I want it. So let me see if I have my, I do have my wax. I was hoping I had it close by. But let's go ahead and color these guys in. So welcome in. Oh, that's not good, dear. Did you eat something a little too much of? I know, sometimes I do that. Get too much of a good thing. Good morning, Miss Wendy. Thank you for hosting this event and for so graciously allowing me to be part of your events. I absolutely love being able to be part of the events that my friends put on and host. It's so much fun because I get to hang out with y'all. We get to do things. And I really haven't done any of my dioramas on camera before, so I thought that would be fun to do. Oh, actually I should have skipped that one because we're going to do a few different colors. Hello there, Snowcrafting! How are you, friend? You're one of my new friends and I enjoy watching you. It's so much fun. I love your personality. Plus you're a late night crafter like me, so I get to see you usually late in the evenings when I'm over here working. You'll be on, so that's always fun. I know that these events take a lot of work to put on, so I'm always very, very grateful to be a part of someone's event. I feel horrible when something comes up, and here lately it's mainly been my health that tends to prevent me from doing stuff, so it tends to make things not so easy. Alright, I'm just going to use a little bit of washi tape here to help me not overpaint, because I don't want to overpaint, but it's a little bit hard right there. So, you know, just like if you were painting something larger, masking tape it off. In my case, I'm using some washi tapes. If you're ever like, well, what do I use my washi tape for? This is a good thing right here. You know, this is a good thing right here. You just, you know, get it to help you keep yourself in line, because sometimes this is can be hard to keep staying in line with our paints. My pleasure, dear. Alright, so we'll do pink down here as well. So let's go ahead and mark that off, just so that it makes it easier again. What are you adding more to? You talking about your busy schedule? Yeah. We tend to do that, don't we, my friend? Always tend to add more to our plate than we should. Just make sure it's not too much and you don't burn out, okay? Alright. I think that's looking kind of good. And I'm using, what's it called? Candy Pink from Apple Barrel. That's the pink that I'm using for my Flower Power ghosties here. That's what they're gonna be all about. The Flower Power. I think that's looking cute. What y'all think? Okay, let's get us in. We need some orange somewhere, because I mean, after all, it is Halloween, right? So get us a little bit of orange, and I also have some green, and that is dew green is what I have. So I'm trying to think, what do I want to do with this? We'll do some of these. And I like this it's called pumpkin or calabaza. It's from Anita's. So sad that I can't get that color anymore. But I do have 3 bottles of it that I picked up before Hobby Lobby stopped carrying it, so I think I have enough of a little bit of this and that, so I'm sure burnout will come eventually. Oh. Well, you know, there's nothing wrong if you have to step back a little and take a woosa moment, as a friend of mine says. One of my good friends, she's like, we all have to woosa sometimes. I'm like, yeah, we do. Everybody's got their things. We all do have to woosa sometimes. She's usually talking about me, but so sometimes you do. Sometimes you just have to take a moment what a wonderful event filled with people that just love to come together and craft. That is the one thing that I love about being in events. You've got to, Miss Connie, you know, and you have to learn that as much as we love others and we love pouring into others, right? We can't pour into others unless we are okay. And it took me a bit to, you know, to get to that. So it took me a bit to get to that one. And we're gonna do this one down here, also in our orangey color. So does anybody have any special plans for today or for the rest of your week? Anything exciting happening? I will be working on finishing up my junk journal for a junk journal battle raid train that I'm in Whatnot, and I'm excited about that. I'm nervous at the same time because at the end of the day it is still a battle. So all of the journals have a starting bid of 5, and then whoever sells theirs for the most will be the winner of the junk journal battle. So it's a woosah time for you. You know, crafting, especially painting, is very much a woosah for me. Yeah, especially, like I said, many times people are like, oh, but painting is so stressful. This is actually calming to me, to paint. It really is. I absolutely love to paint, and I find it very calming. Let's start with this one over here. And a very light green. I need that to be just a tad bit darker. So let me get a different green. I need it to be a brighter green to contrast the so I'm mixing in some neon green just because I need it to contrast a little bit better. That still may be too light. Well, tomorrow I go see the dentist. And hopefully they can do something for my aching teeth. Hopefully. Yeah, I am I love to journal. I love to make journals. How about that? I've never been a journaler, like somebody who writes in journals. I've always liked, you know, making the, you know, the decorating. Same with like scrapbooking. I really never was a scrapbooker, but I loved decorating the pictures and things of that nature. That, yes, you know, that totally. But so it was a lot of fun. They've like I said, I was honored when I got asked if I would partake in the battle. I was like, oh wow, y'all think that much? Okay. Well, thank you so much. I feel honored. A little intimidated, of course, but still honored. Because I know some of the other creators on that will be part of that train, and whoo, they make some beautiful, beautiful journals. So, but I keep on reminding myself we each have our own different way of doing things, right? And it's never. Yeah, I know, I hate them too. I do too. I've had to deal with dentists for so much of my life that, yeah, it's not good. Okay. And let's do this one up here in the green as well. And that way we have some contrasting colors there. What y'all think? Do dentists go to you know what? That is a very good question. Who do they go to? Who do they go to? I don't know. But that is a very, very, very valid point right there. Do they also go to the dentist? And if so, is there a special dentist for dentists? Do they maybe see another dentist in the same practice, or do they go someplace different? That is a good question. A very valid question. If they have nice teeth, we need to go to that one. Yeah, right? Because if not, then that lets you know that there might be a bit of a problem there, right? It's like you don't trust your own profession, people in your own profession, you don't trust them, or you don't trust the ones around us. That makes me question if I want to go, right? Yeah. Who does their hair? Yeah. That is true. Well, my hairstylist, she does her own hair. But, you know, I would figure that would be a little, hard to do. Especially if you're, like, trying to color it or something of that nature, right? Okay, where did my little wipey go? Now, you could also use markers on these. You don't have to actually like sit down and paint it. You could just do that. Alright, let's do these ghosties. And then I'll come in and darken their eyes later. But we need to make them white, don't we? So, what is everybody doing? Nobody said anything. Is there y'all had lunch already? What y'all have for lunch? My hubby cooked me some fried eggs, which I ate with bagel and cream and cheese. That's what I had. So what did y'all do? Or what are you planning on doing, depending on where you're at? It's still early. Hi, Bobby.
Now is not a good time.
Definitely no. Oh, those are yummy. I like turkey dogs. Those are yummy. They don't feel as greasy as a regular one. So what do you like to put on yours? Just a regular ketchup, mustard, anything like that? Yeah, he was coming to say that he was off to bed. He had a very rough night. They had a literal fire on one of the machines last night. So it was not good. But they were able to, it took a while, he said, but they were able to get it under control. He said the firefighters actually showed up, because of the last big fire that they had. They ended up showing up with like 4 trucks and stuff, but ended up really not doing anything because the guys under my husband and himself pretty much had it handled. So yeah, I know. I'm very glad he's safe too. I know when it comes to things like that, he can definitely handle his own. He was a volunteer firefighter in our community for 7-8 years before they went paid, and so he's done all the training, so I know he knows how to handle himself. It's still scary though. It's still very scary. But yeah, last time they had a fire, they were not able to contain it and it went up to the roof, and there weren't enough trucks. So this time when they called, the fire department went ahead and sent a bunch of trucks, but they were able to get it good in control. Oh, it is very unpredictable, which is one of the things which was really good that they were there just in case if it did, you know, get out of hand. But very grateful it didn't. Grateful everybody is okay, nobody got hurt. Just a lot of smoke and burnt paper. So alright, I'm gonna save those and I'm gonna wax once we're done. Right now I'm gonna dry this so we can work on the inside because I only have 30 minutes left and I want to make sure that we can get to working on the inside. Okay, so they have a little latch right here, okay? And so this is what we're going to deal with. Now, because we are going to go ahead and like put stuff on the inside, I do want to go ahead and at least get this area stained, even though I didn't do the outside, but I do want to go ahead and do this part, okay? So I have the Waverly wax, and I'm going to use baby wipe, and this is what I'm going to use to just spread the wax around, and essentially just I'm staining the wood, okay? So we're staining this over here, making our coffin look like it is some old wood right there. Hola Rosa, bendiciones. Now you could, I guess, maybe unscrew, but I don't think you really can. So we're just going to leave that in there and getting in as best as possible into the different nooks and crannies. And I'll probably end up having to come back with the brush just to double up the paint, okay? The paint. Goodness gracious. I'm definitely not trying to double up nobody's paint, that's for sure. What am I talking about? I guess because this is being a little bit of a pain in my rear end. That's why I said that. I don't know. Lord only knows what I meant. My car? I don't know. We still haven't heard anything about it. It's been 3 months. And they still haven't given us any word on what they're going to do. I swear insurances are horrible. And they're no good. You pay all this money. And then they still have you in limbo. All because they can. So. Well, I guess we are painting the outside of this since I already have some of this stain on here. Yep, I know. It's very sad. And it's a big royal inconvenience too, because, you know, we don't have like any local transportation other than like Uber or something. There's no public transportation around here. Surrounded by farms and stuff. So if you don't have a vehicle, you are SOL. You know, not everybody can afford to live or wants to live in a place that has public transportation, because that usually is, you know, kept for the inner cities and stuff. Not everybody wants to live out those ways. And see, a lot of people don't understand that it's because the US is so vast. You have to have a car. Like, you really are forced to have a car. You know, it's not a luxury. It's a necessity. You know? Okay. Put that to the side. This thing keeps wanting to lock itself. I don't want you to lock yourself. I'm not ready for that. I'm just going to try to come in here and try to get those areas that didn't get a whole lot of the wax, like the corners. They did for the first 30 days, but it's been 3 months. It's been 3 months, and yeah. So ridiculous. That's the biggest problem of it all. All right, now I want to build. Those are going to be too shallow. I need some wider ones, and I'm going to go ahead and use these colored ones that I have. It was hit by lightning. It was hit by a lightning. So, yeah. Female home. Yeah, I know. I know. Because that's the big insurance companies for you. Because based off of, you know, if you're a male or a female, based off of the zip code that you live in, based off of, you know, yeah, it's utterly ridiculous. Both. It's both, to be honest. At least that's the way I see it. Because they each keep throwing the blame on the other. Sorry for the sanding noise, guys. So I know how that can irritate sometimes. Yep, both of them. Oh, well, they don't give this to us. Or, well, they haven't done this. Or, y'all, just get it together. So we're going to imagine that this is a little hippie witch's lair. That's what we're going to imagine. Hello there, Miss Lisa. Miss Lisa will actually be up after Miss Renee. She'll actually be up after her, so that's pretty cool. Like I said, awesome lineup. Y'all definitely do not want to miss out on everybody who's gonna be on today. I know. Okay, so I'm staining my sides here because I'm gonna put some vellum in here, and y'all will see here in a second what I'm talking about, because I want to cut it to fit on the inside of this. And now I have some very wax stained fingers. Okay, let's give this thing a little bit of a dry right quick. Okay, get this all dried up. Yeah, because then they can sue the other person. Mother Nature means that they have to actually pull out of their funds. You know, the funds that they've been charging every month. Ridiculously. Yeah, those. Alright, I am going to add a little bit of some wood glue just to keep my shelves like in their place, even though they're kind of tight in there, but I still want to, you know, make sure they won't move. And this is just Dollar Tree wood glue, guys. Dollar Tree wood glue works really well. I'm just sad that all of their stuff is going up, which just means that now we are forced to go and source elsewhere. Okay. And like I said, that's gonna help hold my little shelves in place. So now when, you know, you can have this opened up and you'll be able to look inside. Okay. So I got these again. These were in the clearance section, and I thought they were super cute. And they're the little glass jars with corks, and they have things like sparkle, peace, shine, and love. So, you know, like I said, very hippie-ish, right? Let me okay. And then we're going to glue these into or onto our little shelves. Yeah, I know. Yeah, they were not too happy that that my car ended up having to go to the dealer because it could not be fixed, I guess, at a normal shop, because everything has to be programmed per Ford, and not everywhere do they have the ability to do that. It's not my problem. Okay, I just noticed that these things are not glued into place, so we are going to glue them into place because I don't want to have any issues with this. And I'm trying to think now, what do I want to use? Do I want to use E6000 or should I use my hot glue? Maybe E6000 might be good. Y'all think E6000 would be better for this? Could do super glue. You know, and the thing that is even crazier is that my husband's truck was taken to the Ford dealer that is right here close to our house in our county, and my vehicle was taken to the county over because the one here was down an electrician, and my vehicle was all electrical, and they said it was gonna take at least a few weeks before they could see my vehicle. Man, I should have just let them keep it there instead of moving it. Hey, thank you, Miss Brenda. I appreciate it. Super glue would work. I do have super glue. I can use that for sure. Thank you. Glad you guys like it. I really do. I say it's gonna be the hippie witch's little thing, because she'll have her bottles in here of stuffs. Her bottle of stuffs. Okay, so you said super glue. Let's try the super glue. Let's see if it works a little bit faster. So I'm gonna finish to glue these in here. I do have moss in a few different colors that I'm going to kind of like stick in there, make it, you know, look a little more put together and decorated. And then with the light going, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually picked up yesterday some of the Halloween vellum, and I'm gonna use that to put on the inside of this, so that when it is sparkling and shining through, you can see that. You know what I'm saying? Ah, you moved on me, bottle. Don't move on me. Okay, so let's see if these ones are the same. Alright, so let's see if super glue will hold it faster. How about that? We'll try that. think it's holding it. Alright, so these are the vellums, and I thought that they looked really cute and cool, and we could put a piece for the light to come through. So let's see, I think we need a lighter-ish one. I like that one. Thank you so much for having me. I really truly appreciate it. I do like that. So I think we may use a piece of this one on the inside, so that way, and I'll show you guys, so that way, keep that, when you go to turn it on, you know, it kind of, you'll see the color coming through it. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you guys see that? It kind of blinks and stuff. See? So I think that's pretty cool. And that'll be like its own little standalone thing. And like I said, you'll be able to see the different little vials that we'll have. And I'll probably add another one right over there, just so that we have that. Michael's has it. That's where I found it. Thank you, Miss Christine. Miss Christine, why did you change your to your thing and not stay on your page? Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys. Make sure that you are following the event group. It is Dusty Granny's event group. It is a free group, guys, okay? And we do have presenters all day. I'm the very first one, and it is crafter's choice. So as a crafter, you get to pick what you'd like to do. And those are always fun because people always have, you know, different things that they want to work on. You know, no two crafters are alike, which is the awesome part about it. Yeah, you should be able to still find it online. I have it in my cart online, but I was very glad to see it in person, so I just went ahead and picked it up. I had to check something on Hey, no worries, it's fine. I normally stay on my personal page. That's why when you guys see me pop in, so that way I can share you guys out and not have issues. Because I like to, like, you know, bombard sharing you guys to multiple places, and the way I've found to get around that with the craziness that FB can be at times is to do it on my personal page. So it's the main reason why I tend to do that, guys. So if you guys ever wonder why am I always on my personal page and not my actual page, is because of that. I don't want to get, you know, told I can't share more because I've done it too many times and I've spammed groups or whatever, even though they allow you to share. But, you know, as my husband always reminds me, this is a private own thing, and they can do whatever they want. It's their rules and we have to abide by them, even though they don't make any sense half the times. But that is why. Alright, so I have this last one that I'll be tucking in there, but this is my project. Again, I did pick pretty much all of my supplies from the Michaels. All of their Halloween stuff is half off right now, so I found this cute little one. I was like, oh, that is gonna look gorgeous. I had already picked these up from the clearance section, so I was like, totally flower power goes with it. The moss I already had from last year, getting it in one of their $5 box things. No, I mean $10. Yeah. And that's it. That's my thing. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Y'all have been awesome as always. Let's go and watch Miss Renee, support her, and everybody else that's going to be on today. So I love y'all. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye bye. Ciao.